Who's the team that has the closest chance to taking down Vitality? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it should be Falcons Vega, right? Like no one has ever come close to taking them down, right? Is there some other teams that are, as good as Falcons Vega?
I guess they're male counterparts, right? The MDL teams have been able to take them down, but even in the Olympics earlier on, SEA Games in Cambodia, they were the gold medalists. And I think one of the teams that also came close other than Falcons Vega was RQ Mika. But again, right, RQ Mika nowhere to be found up until this point. And again, Falcons Vega or GPX Basreng, which they were previously known as, still are the number 2 behind this team.
Oh, wow. This time, the Baksha ban comes through. The Claude. There you go. I was talking about that in the last game, and they finally banned it out here in our match point for Vitality. So that's going to be leaving Chels with another option. Maybe the Roger here. The Loy was one of the key picks that Vitality had in game number 2, and now they have to think it through, right? This is also a pick that Funi, or rather Falcons Vega, loves utilizing. So I'm not so sure. They should ban it out here, or not unless they want to leave that open.
I mean, last time around, the Moskov was also taken out in the first phase, right? So with that being left open, that's a big pick that they can secure for themselves. But they have to go for, a choice here, right? With Vitality forcing a Matilda ban in the last slot in the first phase of the drafts here in game number 3. Do you want to go for Moskov or do you want to go for the Luo Yi?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because leaving the Luo Yi open, it was the MVP for the previous game. They definitely don't want to leave it and give it over to Cine to utilize, because there was just so much presence and so much domination that the Diversion had to play with. But the flip side is they've actually left up 2 priority heroes for Team Vitality to pick up themselves, which is the Minotaur and the Moskov. Again, pick your poison.
Yeah, this was banned out in game number 2, so it's, whatever recipe that you pull out, right? There's just so many heroes that they can just mix and match here. And it's just, okay, this time they banned out a couple of comfort picks, right? Like forcing Vitality to pick up something else. And this time I think it's a great answer as well to the Loy. They need that crowd control. And Vivian, you've seen how well she's played this Minotaur in the previous games. The Fredrin, I was looking for this in game number 2 and game number 1, nowhere to be found. And finally they go with it here for Falcons Vega in our 3rd game, and to seal it all up, they got the Edith here as well. Again, flexible pick here, can go to the XP and can go to the roam position. We've seen Violet pick that up, so I'm not surprised if it's going to be a switch up between Tal or Violet's heroes here.
Okay, Charisla's going to be the choice. The Xborg was actually left open, so I thought they wanted to go for the Xborg in order to have a little bit more say against the Fredrin when it came down to the neutral objective takes, but they're still comfortable with the Charisla, still opting to utilize this Charisla, and it's a good, strong lane for them. But it does give the opportunity for the Xborg to be utilized by Falcons Vega if this Edith goes into the roam position. But they start off with an Atan ban first.
A hero that scales up pretty well. You've seen Chin Chao use it in the previous games, and honestly it's so hard to deal with the Nathan once it gets that power spike, right? Even making sure that, Chels wins in that lane. But with this Terizla pickup, I wouldn't be surprised if this is another Cine hero that they are putting up. A respect here as well to Chin Chao's capabilities in her lane, but the Roger is still up for the taking here for the side of Falcons Vega, so they might actually just use that or leave that open for the side of Falcons Vega.
Oh, there it is, the Hanzo ban, right?
You mentioned it earlier. They're just leaving no stones unturned. I mean, with how Vitality has been drafting, they are known to pick up a surprise pick or 2, and they're just okay. We don't want to let you have any of those pocket picks anymore. And honestly, it's gonna be hard to have that Hanzo, right? Especially with damage dealers like Loy, or perhaps like maybe even the Goldane later on that can get picked off by the Hanzo. And it also steals away buffs, right? Steals away resources from the jungler. So
but honestly, even if they do pick up the Hanzo, there's still the Yuzong for them to counter it with. And Hanzo isn't the comfort pick, or not the comfort, but the signature pick of of Peoples. It's actually the comfort pick of Maylane. So it's actually very interesting. So maybe perhaps because they know the ins and outs of this hero, they try and go for the respec. But signature Indonesian pick here with the Kadita being picked up. This is going to be a very, very interesting game. I'm actually excited to see this.
Wow, the Carmilla comes through again here for Falcons Vega. I've seen this combination, the Curse of Blood. You combine it with the rotation diversion combination from the Loi. It's good. But with the Kadita's threat, right, it's hard. I talked about the Roger earlier that was left open here for Chinchao, and I guess that is the best that you can go with up against this lineup. It's also great to go up against the Moskov as well in the early game. So this is the best pickup that Falcons Vega can go with right now. Great crowd control, great team fight capabilities, great potential all across the map. But Vitality, seems like they have everything covered here right now with the setups as well with the Minotaur and Terizla. But Vivian, or rather Pipals, gonna be locking in that alpha as well for their jungler. So this time, is it okay? Are they switching it up? Okay, there you go. Cine on the Kadita. I was like, I thought I was gonna go to the roam position, but there you go. Vitality and Falcons, perhaps for the very last time here in the Snapdragon Pro Series. Will it be a 3-0 or will Falcons Vega actually take a game here up against Vitality?
Let's hope for the latter, right? Because in this best of 5, we want to see everything from both of these teams, and we're only getting a glimmer here and there, especially if this ends in a 3-0. But ladies and gentlemen, just to remind you, we are at championship point. Everything hangs in the balance here for Falcons Vega, because one more game, if they lose this, it's a go big or go home. They have to say goodbye to the tournament, and they have to give it over to their fellow Indonesian counterparts to pick up that championship title here at Snapdragon Pro Series Women's League Challenge Season, Challenge Finals. And here it is. Let's jump into the Land of Dawn for potentially the final game in this best of 5 series.
If you want to extend it, right, you want to see the maximum capabilities of these teams to extend it out to at least a game number 4. But looking at this, they've taken out Pipals this year. They've finally taken out the Claude here. Will it be a different result here for the side of Falcons Vega? But looking at this, right, the Carmilla pick comes through here for Falcons Vega. It's going to be a battle between who initiates first here. Is it going to be, the counter set being made by the Carmilla? Because I've seen this happen. You have the Kadita being picked up. Well, not the first time by CD, but the first time here in this tournament. Great to go and pick off heroes like the Roger and even the Loi here.
We'll see. Here in the mid lane, already trading some blows, but you can see that both of these mid trio can clear quickly. But of course, Cine does need a little bit more space if she wants to, put on her kill pressure potential, especially on the Kadita, but it will require that level 4 power spike. We can see that, even the spell here was actually utilized earlier on that Thal was able to flicker out of.
Resource burned. I think despite the fact that there's no rough waves available, like Thal did not want to give any more cards to the side of Vitality to have the upper hand right now. Looking at our junglers, both of them have reached that level 4. But it seems like the pressure is on here on the XP lane. Caramel though, gonna go for the taunt, and now Cine gonna go and miss out. Does not have the rough waves just yet. The ultimate has been burned as well here by Pipals as the first turtle is up for the taking.
Yeah, Cine wants to get that level 4 power spec as fast as possible, right? That's why the rotation to the EXP lane to get in that clear and get in that EXP. And now she is at level 4. So Falcons Vega, though, they respect that potential, right? 2 purifies on the board for them. But here we go, the engage.
Engage onto Thal. Gets bursted down there. Does not have the flicker out anymore. And now Violet and Caramel, the rest of the gang, are going to try to go in. But look at the Minoa's Fury. Onto 2. Violet as well. Gonna be chunked down real low. Are they gonna go for more? Vitality says, okay, we got what we wanted. Let's go straight for the turtle. Let's be a little bit more disciplined. But top side, a solo kill as early as 2 minutes. Chills.
It wasn't a solo kill. It was a Spear of Misery to seal the deal from the top lane down to the bottom. How did she know the positioning? That was a beautiful timed ult. What?
it's like the dawning light of the savior, right? It feels like
Exactly.
they have a map hack, but no, they just know, right? Like even man, I don't even know at this point. Like Vitality, they just so good, and they're so aware of what's going on all across the map, which makes them so good at all of these engages. And right now, it seems like they might actually go for the invade here onto the jungle side.
Let's see if it's gonna work out for them actually. But look at this, Rough Voice goes in.
Nice setup there by Tal, but it's not gonna be enough. Shared damage is in, but Vitality, they're just gonna go for more. Look at Caramel, gonna zone out Pipals, gets in the Appraiser's Wrath, and takes her down. One for the prize of one, the gold laner for the jungler here.
Okay, Team Vitality now in the 3-minute mark, almost at 4 minutes now, will be holding on to that 1.7k gold lead. But look at the positioning coming in from Cine. She's in that bush. I think Thal knows that she's there. Gets spot out there, will be able to get out. But again, right, so aggressive coming in from Cine, and that's exactly the kill pressure that we can expect coming in from a Kadira.
Yeah, two types of heroes that she can play, the backline damage dealer and even dive, aggressive dive heroes like the Kadira here. And even the side of Falcons Vega, they know this very well. They have to be careful with all of these bushes. Purifies, they have to be utilized at the right time as well, because once Cine has that rough waves up, that petrify as well, it can be almost a sure kill for the side of Team Vitality.
And now the turtle has already spawned back into the game. And there's just so much emphasis. We've seen it the entire series, but it looks like there's an engage happening around that turtle. What's going on there?
Yeah, there's just way too many people there. Vivian gonna be the first one bursted down. Pipals, the next one to fall. Violet as well gonna be popping in that Primal Rat onto Fumi Echo. She's pretty tanky though, so you're not gonna be able to take her down, and that is gonna give Falcons Vega a better upper hand here at taking in the turtle.
Finally, right? Falcons Vega find their rhythm, find their groove in that team fight, and we're able to get that favorable trade down. Some kills as well as a neutral objective take, by the way, to help out Falcons Vega in the early stage of the game. We do see that a diversion may be utilized here. It was cancelled out as, taking a look at the damage leaderboard, still the Luo Yi #1 on the charts.
As well as Caramel, right? Like the Fredrin, to think that this is a Fredrin that has already been nerfed and it's dealing this amount of damage. This is why it is still #1. We see Falcons Vega as well going in for the top side, the diversion play here. Not sure if Chels knows that. She has to defend this lane, and with Vivian in the mid lane, I think they're just gonna give away this tower on the top side.
Caramel's so low at the moment.
Yep, she's
What's going on there?
Yep, I think they're trying to go for her instead, but Violet gonna be the only casualty here onto the mid side. They might force out the team fight here, but here comes the backup. Tal gonna go in for the Curse of Blood, linking in 3, but onto the taunts here. 4 Pipals goes in for the spear, the ultimate in. A double kill picked up here for Vitality. The presence of mind that they had. Tal got in a very good link, but look at Chels as well, wrecking the damage there, going in for the TP plays, and gets in the middle tower here as well.
Beautiful timing and the beautiful follow-up coming in from Shells, and the targeting at the latter stage of the team fight when all the resources were burnt out. She jumped in and was able to dish out that consistent damage that ultimately led to Team Vitality being able to get a better team fight down off of Falcons Vega. But it looks like a diversion play might be happening. This is a 3v1 situation, but Shells sees it, spots it out, and will be able to unhinge that particular situation.
Yeah, they have eyes everywhere here for Vitality. It's just that every single diversion play, though, they've only been successful once. But Shells, though, you're gonna try to go in for the play, gets soaked up, gets taunted here by Caramel. Curse of Blood gonna be linking that in, and finally get what they wanted. City, though, gonna try to go for a counter play, gets stunned here by Caramel. When all of that is happening, Pipals will be able to secure the turtle for Vitality, and now City's in trouble, does not have any escape. Oh wait, still escapes with 1 HP. What was that? Whoa!
Yeah, City still being able to get in and get out of the situations. That's the beauty of the Kadita, right? A lot of miscalculations can be done against a Kadita, and we saw that happening. And again, similar to game #1, from Team Vitality. Every time there's tunnel visioning happening for Falcons Vega, Team Vitality always has the next step in mind, taking in the neutral objective under the nose of Falcons Vega when they were focusing in the bottom lane into that team fight. And just this beautiful collapse of taking control over the map has just been so impeccable for Team Vitality that they're reaping the rewards now, right? Total control over the map despite Falcons Vega having the Luo Yi, but there's definitely still a loophole that can be utilized with this.
Yeah, it's Violet frontlining here right now. Okay, diversion play. Will they actually go for it? They actually see them. Thal gonna be soaking up the damage. Chels has the Spear of Misery there, but Fumi from the backside goes in for the play. Thal is not able to survive, unable to land the ultimate as Team Vitality wipes out Falcons Vega 1-1.
They knew it was coming. They were prepared. They were 2 steps ahead, like in a chess match against one of the grand masters of all time. Team Vitality again pressed the issue. 3 members taken down to the price of none. Cine still going to be able to posture very aggressively against the members of Falcons Vega. Despite Jinja already reaping in those integral items, it doesn't matter to Team Vitality as they're pushing to a 6k gold lead.
Oh man, I just noticed right now, like Chelsea's battle spell is actually
Inspire.
Inspire, right? Like we see the Moskov on Purifies, you see it on Flickers, and I was wondering where that attack speed came from, right? When they were having that duel in the mid lane, it actually came from that Inspire. So we can expect to see more of that play coming out from Chelsea or from Vitality. 10 kills already for their side, and they're just gonna be blitzing in this Lord unless there's gonna be a diversion play being made here. I think it's a little bit too risky right now, knowing that Team Vitality just knows where to position every single time. Vitality secures in the first Lord of the game, Care of Impulse.
This is actually the default spell for the Moskov, right? Because as soon as it went viral into the meta in the gold lane, it was actually always the Inspire for the Moskov in the gold lane. But after time progressed, a lot of gold laners, the pro players, and of course the male division started to explore different types of spells like the Purify. We even sometimes see the Flicker coming through. And then that's when people start to go for a more safe type of spell to get the gold laner out of these precarious situations. But I guess Shell's just shows her confidence level in this particular matchup, and it's for good reason, right? Look at how they've been controlling all 3 of these lanes. She actually has a Malefic Roar now, so even more damage and penetration to go in for this siege.
That's not even the Lord yet, right? It just arrived and 2 inhibitors are already down. Curse of Blood being initiated here by Thal, uses up the Flicker, but Fumi goes in for the penalty zone here. The Lord is still up onto the base. Violet goes in for the onward, but it's not going to be enough.
No
Rotation,
way.
diversion, combination. Caramel's going to get bursted down. Thal is super low here as well. They're looking to try and end this game, and they actually do. Vitality just shows us why they are our back-to-back MWI champions, and now the queens of Snapdragon Pro Series taking in their 20th title of the women's division. Still undecoded, still the queens.
Undefeated in WSL of the regular season, undefeated during the playoffs as well, and now